Tonight, the Spotless Uniform and Linen location in the Hart was destroyed by fire Tuesday night. Plus, Northern Health has secured coverage for UHNBC's maternity department for August and September. And officials in Quesnel are sounding the alarm about the deteriorating condition of the Quesnel River Bridge. Good evening and welcome to CKPG News. I'm Adam Burrows. Thank you for being with us. A major fire lit up the sky in the Hart last evening, leaving a commercial structure completely destroyed, leading to $1.9 million in damages. And as Nick Dubé tells us, the cause remains undetermined.
This is the scene at 3902 Kentworth Road after a large blaze consumed Spotless Uniform and Linen Tuesday evening. Firefighters from 4 halls fought the fire throughout the night to no avail as the structure was destroyed. But as Fire Chief Brian Burley said, the lack of occupants in the building made fighting the fire much more manageable.
So as a firefighter, we first arrive on scene. Our incident commander builds an overall incident action plan. That's based on strategies, priorities, and then achieved through tactical assignments. Upon arrival, it was confirmed that there were no occupants in the building, so that takes away one of the life safety hazards for us. The building was fully involved on our arrival with fire and smoke, heavy fuel loads from the unconsumed fuels, meaning the smoke, and so it was deemed to be a defensive operation right from the onset.
While dealing with many flammable liquids and a large building with many void spaces created some challenges, Burley said coordination and training helped with the long battle.
It was the quick action, the preparedness due to training, the professionalism, and just the teamwork and the collaboration. So a building of this nature, a fire of this nature, comes with an incredible amount of work, and as you can see, it's almost going to be a 24-hour period to extinguish a fire of this nature.
As you can see behind me, the damage is beyond repair, but thankfully there were no injuries to any civilians or responders to the fire. The fire, though, is still under investigation. Nick Dubé, CKPG News.
An update now on wildfires across the province, as well as the Samaros Creek wildfire near Fraser Lake. As Tommy Osborne reports, cooler temperatures in northern BC have played a big role in helping control many fires.
Wildfires continue to burn across the province, although cooler days and rain have helped contain some of them.
As of this morning, there are 120 active wildfires across the province of British Columbia, including 12 that have started in the last 24 hours and 27 that were declared out in the same period. We've been able to contain 85% of the fires this season to 4 hectares or less.
Among the fires being held is the Samaros Creek wildfire, classified as held after being out of control as of August 5th.
When we have decreased temperatures and higher humidity, that means that the fire is not going to burn as aggressively. So instead of seeing that rank 3, 4 burning where it's, in the treetops candling, the fire behavior did decrease to kind of that rank 1, 2, more ground fire, maybe a little bit of open flame.
The weather certainly helped, although Thomas added the crew's speedy response played a huge role in getting the fire held within days.
Initially, we did have a lot of aviation support. We had air tankers, helicopters, skimmers, and these resources are very critical to holding a fire, to giving us time to get firefighters in place, but ultimately they don't put the fire out. So what's really important is to get the firefighters on the ground, on the fire line, applying water to the edge of the fire, and that's what really puts the fire out.
With the fire now held, Thomas says crews are in what's called the mop-up stage.
They're going through with hosing, they're putting water on the fire, they're feeling the dirt with their hands to see if it's cold, if it's warm. They're using their hand tools to dig down. Sometimes the fire can burn quite deep.
The nearby Dorman Lake wildfire remains out of control, though, with smoke visible for residents of Fraser Lake, Vanderhoof, and motorists traveling along Highway 16. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
Parmar also said the government and the BC Wildfire Service have seen an increase in AI-generated images of wildfires, which is concerning.
This kind of misinformation puts people and communities at risk, and I urge everyone to be careful about sharing this content as well as what they see online.
As to why people are posting AI images of wildfires, Parmar wasn't sure what motivations would lie behind this, but said it's a reminder to be aware of where you're getting your information from.
We've taken a number of steps over the last number of years to continue to update the BC Wildfire app. There's a level of transparency that has increased over the last number of years to the tune of providing regular updates on the size of hectares, providing photos and videos of fire. And so the message that I have to British Columbians is please be cautious of where you get your information. Be aware of AI-generated content. And if you want to know where you can get the best information, the most up-to-date information, the BC Wildfire app is the place to go.
Earlier this month, several police officers were on the scene at the 4000 block of Oliver Avenue due to a high-risk situation. On August 1st, shortly before 2:30 p.m., Prince George RCMP responded to reports of a man in a mental health crisis who was armed with a firearm. Officers secured the area and managed the situation for public safety. The North District Emergency Response Team and the Crisis Negotiation Team were called in, resulting in the temporary closure of Oliver Avenue. Fortunately, one male was safely taken into custody without any incident. After previously warning pregnant individuals about potential gaps in specialist coverage at UHNBC's maternity department, Northern Health has notified residents they have secured coverage for August and September at the North's biggest hospital. In an update to pregnant individuals in the Northern Health region, UHNBC's Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology says the OBGYN specialist coverage has been secured for August and September 2025. The department goes on to thank the UHNBC OBGYN provider group and locums for their efforts and support in helping fill critical service gaps. However, the update notes that while coverage has been secured for the near term, they are still planning proactively for the months ahead. UHNBC has been impacted by a province-wide shortage of Royal College certified obstetrical specialists who provide essential surgical and consultative care when complications arise during pregnancy and delivery. Because of potential shortages, that means pregnant individuals may have had to go to another center for their care. Northern BC residents who are pregnant and more than 20 weeks into their pregnancy remain eligible for medical services at the UHNBC Labour and Delivery Department, and note that the maternity department is open 24/7. As part of International Overdose Awareness Month, MLA Rosalind Bird and many community partners are teaming up to bring a prescription take-back day to the city. Bird says this would be the first of its kind in BC, and it's a day to return any unused or old prescriptions. It will take place on August 28th at City Hall, and Bird says it's an important day to highlight another type of drug abuse that doesn't often get highlighted, being unused prescriptions. She says these prescriptions can be incredibly harmful if left unattended, and believes getting them out of potential situations to be used dangerously is an important part of helping address the toxic drug crisis.
Whether it is seniors filling prescriptions through pharmacare and selling them to buy groceries, whether it is young adults using parents' medications to self-medicate and or possibly self-harm through suicide, those drugs need to come out of our medicine cabinets every year.
Beyond the main goal of taking back prescriptions to be disposed of safely, Bird adds there will also be community partners to help with other potential aspects surrounding the toxic drug crisis. This includes connections to mental health supports for anyone who may be struggling, education on how dangerous some drugs can be, and how even seemingly harmlessly prescriptions can contribute to the harmful drug industry.
There won't be any questions asked. This is not about, judging or asking where and how did you come across this. It's just an opportunity for residents here in Prince George to be participatory in trying to solve this crisis.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is $1.39.9 per litre at Costco. The lowest gas price in BC is in Sparwood at $1.31.9 per litre. Alberta currently has the lowest gas prices in the country on average at $1.29.4 per litre. Meanwhile, BC has an average price of $1.57.2 per litre. It's probably no surprise to anyone in our region, but July was wetter than normal, but not by much. Environment Canada says that 71.2 millimeters of rain was recorded in Prince George last month, slightly higher than the 64.4 millimeter average. After hot temperatures last week, cooler temperatures and rain is welcome to help with the drought situation and wildfires in the region. And despite an above average July for rainfall, Prince George is still sitting at a drought level 1.
So just above normal, but statistically a fairly normal month, if we want to put it that way, with about 110 or 111% of normal precipitation being reported. And temperature-wise, a very normal month as well. The mean temperature is 15.4 degrees. The normal mean temperature is 15.9. So, 0.4 of a degree below normal, but really a very general normal month is probably the best way to look at it. Unfortunately, the longer term message isn't really positive at this point in time. We're seeing sort of this upper low that's coming across the south coast of BC sort of push some shower activity across the PG area over the last 6 to 12 hours. And we're going to see sort of shower activity continuing, maybe accompanied by some thunderstorms as well over the next little while. But we see a drying trend getting into the forecast by the time we get through to Friday at this point in time. So really drying and warming is what we're looking at as we move through the weekend and really through much of the upcoming work week. It looks like it's going to be staying sort of mid-20s and fairly dry. We see a little bit of a chance of showers coming through at times, but in general terms, slightly warmer than normal month.
The Quesnel River Bridge has been a source of ongoing debate for nearly a decade. As the province develops plans for a new route, one politician has drawn attention to the bridge's deterioration in the legislature, emphasizing the need for immediate action on this critical issue.
Quesnel River Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Quesnel River Bridge is falling down, Mr. Premier.
Newly elected MLA Sheldon Clare drew attention to the Quesnel River Bridge for those in Victoria by singing in the legislature. The city has been working with the province to develop a plan for a new route. However, in the meantime, Clare emphasizes the urgent need to replace the bridge.
The girders have noticeable damage and corrosion issues. You'll see pieces of concrete that are coming off the bottom of this bridge, some of them as big as 25 pounds. It also has some serious structural concerns. That's a problem too. But the bigger problems are those beams that have corrosion in them, like across there.
Sheldon Clare acknowledges that much of the erosion visible on the surface is merely cosmetic. However, he has been informed by an expert that this bridge requires a closer inspection as some pieces are beginning to rust and fall off.
The structural elements on the bridge also have some issues with the holes in the girders, and if one of them became compromised, then that compromises the safety of the bridge.
In May 2019, the city of Quesnel and the province initiated a preliminary design for the Quesnel North-South Interconnector, which will include a new bridge.
Advocates for the new bridge argue that it will enhance safety, speed up travel, strengthen the supply chain, and quicken the emergency response times.
The challenges is just the safety in town. We need to get all of those trucks, dangerous goods and things away from downtown, away from the hospital, the old folks' homes, and just make this whole corridor a lot safer. So for us, it's a very, very big project. We've jumped through all the hoops at this point in time, and we just want to keep moving forward with the government.
The corrosion elements and problems with this bridge are only going to get worse, and fixing it and building the interconnector is only going to get more expensive. Some estimates place it between $700 to $1.2 billion.
Over the years, the bridge has been closed several times due to motor vehicle accidents.
It's not good enough for the province of British Columbia to be relying on this narrow choke point that cannot transport high loads, wide loads.
The project has completed the preliminary design phase. This project is not currently funded to advance beyond this phase.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
In Quesnel, Dave Branco, CKPG News.
A First Nation has lost its bid for a court injunction to stop a 4-meter addition to the tailings dam for the Mount Polley mine. The Hatsuth Nation went to BC Supreme Court in April to say the decision was approved without properly consulting it, and the work was allowed without an environmental assessment at the same site of the disastrous dam collapse that occurred in 2014. However, Justice Michael Tamman has ruled the provincial government's consultation with the Hatsuth was deep and provided the nation ample opportunity to present its perspective about impacts to its constitutional rights. Tamman says the Mount Poly Mining Corporation's plan was comparatively modest, and he dismissed the challenge. Tamman has dismissed the Hatsuth legal challenge outright, finding no basis to grant an injunction to stop the plan moving ahead. Here's a look at your road report for around the city of Prince George. The Hart Highway between Blueberry Road and the North Nechako Road off-ramp will experience minor traffic disruptions in the slow lane Thursday, August 7th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Brunswick Street between 6th Avenue and 7th Avenue will experience traffic disruptions until Friday, August 8th from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. for sanitary service installations. The alleyway will be closed. Dawson Road between Austin Road East and Seton Crescent will be closed Thursday, August 7th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for paving a road patch. Detours will be required. 13th Avenue between Winnipeg Street and Edmonton Street will have the westbound lane closed on Friday, August 8th from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for the replacement of a damaged City of Prince George vault. Detours will be required. Giscombe Road between the Old Cariboo Highway and Blackburn Road North will experience traffic disruptions Friday, August 8th until Friday, August 22nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for utility maintenance on Telus poles. Hanlon Road between Highway 97 and Kelly Road South will be closed until Friday, August 22nd from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the installation of storm infrastructure and a sidewalk. Detours will be required. 15th Avenue between Ospika Boulevard and Nicholson Street, the eastbound slow lane will be closed until Friday, September 5th from 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for a streetlight upgrade. Highway 97 between the John Hart Bridge and the 5th Avenue and Central Street intersection will be single-lane traffic southbound from Monday, August 11th to Wednesday, August 20th from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for tying work to the sanitary force main. Detours will be required. And Tabor Boulevard between 5th Avenue and 1st Avenue will experience traffic disruptions until Friday, August 29th from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. due to a streetlight replacement project.
Good evening, everybody. We are looking at a few showers continuing for a little bit longer, but ending later this evening, and then we're left with just a chance of showers as we move into the overnight period. Still a risk of a thunderstorm out there as well. Winds could be a bit gusty at times, so slight unsettled as we move into the evening just because of this system that moved in today, and that is going to continue, at least part of that trend, continue into some of our day tomorrow, but it is really going to be a nice pattern after that. So we could see still a few more clouds and showers, or at least spotty showers as we move forward. There's the satellite showing you all that cloud cover from earlier, and this is the future cast. So here's our tomorrow. Going into the morning, not a lot of active weather, but it is still sort of around us. So don't be alarmed if we see an isolated shower here and there throughout the earlier part of the morning. And then through the afternoon, as that system pushes off to the southeast, we'll see it fizzle out, and we'll be left with a pretty good looking day ahead later into our Thursday and particularly into our Friday. Friday is probably going to be the best of the next few, and that will get us ready for a really nice trend. Long term, we're looking at warm weather, and that's for really next week. We might have a few unsettled days here and there in some parts of the region for the weekend, but overall it looks pretty good, and there it is there. So 22, Prince George tomorrow. We're looking at mainly cloudy, a few sunny breaks possible, and a slight chance of showers clearing out down through the southern interior. Still pretty stormy through Kelowna and a lot of the Okanagan. South coast looks pretty good as well. A few scattered showers in Fort St. John. So it's kind of a mixed bag across the province for one more day. 22 for Burns Lake, though. Beautiful weather there. The same for Vanderhoof, Fort St. James and Mackenzie sitting around that. Lots of sunshine by the later part of the day. So if we do see some showers, it'll likely be the morning hours and just that lingering shower or two from the system that we saw moving through today. 20 in Edmonton, clouds and rain. So a pretty wet day there as that system moves to the east. 24 in Regina. And we are looking at A few scattered showers in there as well. Winnipeg 31. Beautiful weather. It is going to be hot though, that's for sure. And we know that there's air quality issues further to the east, parts of the prairies, and of course further to the east. So some smoky skies in some areas, and some parts of Ontario will see that for the day tomorrow. Back where we are though, 5 tonight, a chilly night tonight in Burns Lake. You're up to 22 tomorrow, partly sunny and warm. And then overcast skies for Friday, Saturday. But here's the change. Into early next week, we get back to that really nice warm weather. Mackenzie, 9 degrees tonight, partly clouds for you, 22, sunshine tomorrow, a few clouds out there as well, and then maybe even a little bit more active weather on Friday, some slight chance, about a 40% chance of some spotty showers out there Friday and for parts of Saturday, but after that it looks pretty good, especially going into Monday, Tuesday. McBride, 10 degrees tonight, partly cloudy skies tonight. You're looking at a pretty unsettled weather forecast going forward. We'll keep an eye on what's happening here as we get closer to it, but it doesn't look very dry in McBride the next few days, but next week you've got some pretty nice weather coming to you. Quesnel 12 tonight, clear tonight, beautiful tomorrow actually, 24, a bit more cloud cover on Friday and Saturday, a few showers possibly in the morning. Otherwise a good looking weather forecast, and the same with us. We may see an increase in cloud for our Saturday, Sunday. Warming though, especially as we get into Monday, Tuesday, up to 26, 27. Few showers still tonight, tomorrow, a little bit of a better day than what we saw today.
The TSX is up 351 points to close at 27,920. The Dow Jones is up 81 points to close at 44,193. And Artemis Gold is up 71 cents to close at $27.81.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza tastes like never before. Order it at domino's.ca.
It was a big day Wednesday for the Vancouver Whitecaps as they have pulled off the biggest signing in club history. The Caps landed former Bayern Munich star Thomas Muller, and while a dollar figure was not announced, Muller has signed for the remainder of the 2025 season, and the agreement includes a designated player option for 2026. Muller will occupy an international roster slot and fill one of the spots open due to the season-ending injury list pending receipt of his international transfer certificate, visa, and work permit.
We start with Chicago hosting Cincinnati at Wrigley.
He's hit the ball hard twice tonight. In the air, left field. Hap going back on this windy night. That is gone! The 13th of the year for Steer. Right into the Chicago wind, and the Reds ahead 4-1.
Spencer Steer broke the deadlock with a 3-run bomb in the 7th to give the Reds the 5-1 win. Next up, we have Chicago visiting Seattle.
And that'll bring up Josh Naylor. Julio stays, pitch on the way, swinging a well-hit ball deep to right field. This one is going. Goodbye, baseball. Josh Naylor with a home run.
Josh Naylor's 2-run shot put the Mariners ahead to stay as they topped the White Sox 8-3. And closing with Houston and Miami to take on the Marlins.
Kind of got going, right?
This ball hit pretty well, right center field. Back goes Hernandez near the wall. It's off the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Pena's going to get to third. JP3 with a triple to score 2. It's 4-1 Astros.
Jeremy Pena's triple in the 4th scored 2 as the Astros won this one 7-3 on tonight's CKP3.
All right, that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. For news anytime, visit our website at ckpgtoday.ca. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.